Wellness, beautiful beings, welcome to Rashida Silver Tree. Welcome to my space, my place. May this message find you well and whole. Happy Friday, Merry Friday. New moon portal will be opening up soon so that we get that new fresh kick into the fall. Seasons are changing, the nights are getting cooler, the air is getting cooler, the leaves are changing, the air is a tad bit more brisk. The sweaters are coming out. Yeah, I'm ready. I would say I'm getting ready for winter. That's for sure. Winter is coming. So, as you can see, today's title, Light Workers. Our purpose is not to take them out of their darkness. Do this instead. It's a long week. Teaching is an adventure. Okay, grad school is an adventure. It is all an adventure. My life is an adventure. It's a journey. My path has gone, the Beatles song, "A Long and Winding Road." That's my life. And I embrace it. I cherish it. It is what it is. I don't have any negative feelings towards how my life has unfolded, is unfolding, and will unfold. It's just life, This week, hectic, but not unbearable, Anytime I feel like I've reached a space of, a personal misery or a hell, it's usually like I'm in one of those deep seasons of transition. I'm learning a lesson. I'm burning off karma, whatever you want to label it to be, however you want to label it to be. Please excuse the motorists outdoor. My apartment, I like fresh air coming through. Yeah, and I got incense burning, so I like to keep the flow of fresh air and scented incense, going, get the vibe going, soft lights for the evening time. Right, so our purpose is not to take them out of their darkness. Do this instead. As light workers, I don't get stuck on labels, okay? Call yourself a witch, a warlock, a light worker, a shadow worker, a healer, an observer, a shaman, of this, of that. Who gives a crap? I don't care, okay? I have I go by a few different names. I definitely go by the name that my mother gifted to me at birth, but Silver Tree is my medicine name. Okay, it's the name that keeps me glued into this world, into this realm as a spiritual being. So, workers of light. So, the journey of the light worker is intense. Okay, you could say a being, who chooses to bring in that light into dark places. I find that on the journey of a light worker, if you will, you get to a point in your life where you begin to strengthen. You begin to develop a fortitude. What's the word my father likes to use? Grit. Okay, you've been initiated, and I look at initiation as not just having some kind of ritual and wearing all white and burning sage and drumming. No. I'm talking about cosmic life initiation deeper into your evolution of your human experience, right? Where there's specific and very pivotal life experiences that you have that you are no longer the same, right? You are the serpent shedding a skin, and the new skin you wear is not like the one you wore before. That's what I'm talking about. Call yourself Christian, call yourself a Buddhist, call yourself Muslim, a Jew, Satanist, whatever, okay? Yes, we're going there, okay? Whatever path calls to you. All human beings must go through initiations. An atheist, right? All the labels, all the things. But there comes a time where you gain a certain amount of strength so that each time you are initiated into a dark space, a dark place, you have the fortitude to get out, to remove yourself from that space or place. At the beginning, a lot of us light workers are people who choose to bask in their light, right? Because we have a shadow self as well. Don't get it twisted, okay? But once you tune into your own inner shadows, and your inner shadows manifest into shadow work, right? Your own inner shadows manifest into those initiations that I just spoke about. You gain that strength, and then every time you're called to go to certain spaces and places, you can get yourself out. At the beginning of our journey, a lot of the time when we are first initiated into, let's say, a horrible experience, shattering experience, something that breaks our spirit, and we survive. We have all these wounds, we have all these traumas that we have to work with, go to therapy, go to a shaman, go to your mom, go to your dad, your priest, whoever, to work it through. Some of us need to take medication. Some of us need to go to lifelong therapy. Some of us never really deal with it, or some of us develop addictions to deal with this, right? This is real human shit right here, okay? But that grit that I spoke about, that my dad likes to use, when he's describing me, he's like, nah, you have grit. Grit is experience. When you have this experience, you're called to dark places that are not of your own nature, but someone else's, right? Our main purpose is not to take that person out, not to convince them to leave all that dark and hurt behind. I have done this, and I think many a time, family, friends, maybe a lover or two recently, right? Where I was strong enough to withstand a certain amount of their darkness, right? Whether that it's usually the people closest to us in our family, right? That we want to save in a way. We want to convince them of their own inner truth. And this is a perfect example. Think of Virgil in Dante's Inferno, for those of you who are avid readers of literature, okay? Dante's Inferno, there's 3 parts. There's Inferno, Paradiso, and then there's another. Paradiso is the one, there's Purgatory. I should know this. Inferno, then the middle part, and then Paradiso. I think, if I pronounce that right. If not, my literature buffs, the ones who are, you guys are into books, correct me if I'm wrong. But Virgil, he guides, I believe his name's Virgil. Look at me, someone who loves to read. But he is guided. He has a guide that guides him through the rings of hell, right? I don't know if the guide is Virgil or the guy going into hell is Virgil. I'll figure it out. But that's the thing, as a conduit. And even my name, Yarashida, right? But Yarashid means guide. And I've come to terms at 35 years of age in this world that it's the role of being a guide. A guide cannot force someone to choose. We can only remind them of who they are. Remind them of the light that they have within themselves when we meet them in their dark place. We can't take them from outside their hell. We can't take them. We can't rescue them. We can't convince them. We can only shine our light as a reminder of the light that they carry within themselves. We can only reflect back to them the inner truth that they have within themselves, that they must accept, that we're there to remind them that they have a choice. They don't have to bask in the shadow and get stuck there in their darkness. No, they have a choice to alchemize it. And if they don't choose to alchemize it, then you have to be strong enough to let them be. Leave them alone. This is for parents. This is for boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, children. Very difficult the more intimate the relationship is. Today I had a major trigger. And I'll say this, I'm not a fan of those who cause harm to children at all. I'm not a fan of those who cause harm to anyone, to be honest. I guess I can call myself a pacifist. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I don't have violent thoughts, from time to time when I think of someone harming someone else, especially someone that I love or care about or an innocent. But I was triggered today, and I mean, it was during a professional like meeting, and something was brought up that I was not ready to hear. Um, and I will say this, because of confidentiality. So I will say this though, like the shifting of energies as a human collective with all this shadowy bullshit that you see in Hollywood, and everyone's nasty little gremlins and demons and ghosts and goblins are coming out. There's a reason for that. I think it's multi-layered, right? It's the shadow elite that has a lot of manipulation and power over that, and when they expose that. But yeah, it's that kind of like put things into perspective today, that trigger of an innocent being harmed. Like I am there, and I've worked very closely for many years now with the public. I've worked in healthcare and I've worked in education. And I will say, like, at the very beginning of this journey of wanting to be a healer and wanting to connect with people and heal people and save people and just be this humanitarian, it's always, I think, with each phase of my life and each season of my life and with each initiation, I get stronger and stronger and stronger and able to know when to hold on and know when to let go. And so, yeah, this is just a kind reminder to those of you who resonate with the whole light worker. We're all light workers because we work with the light. If you're choosing to help and to be of service, and listen, you don't have to be the whole having a shaker and a shaman drum, okay, dancing and singing in circles to call yourself a healer. You don't have to burn sage and call yourself a witch and have all these seances and rituals to call yourself a healer. Healers wear many different robes. We wear many, many, many different, we play many, many different roles in life with people. Being a healer is about saying the things that remind the other of who they truly are. They must make that choice. You cannot make that choice for them, no matter how much love you have. And sometimes the best form of love and light, right? Love light to give someone is to drop them, just to let them go. That's the best, highest form of love you can do, is turning your back to them and walking away. And that is very difficult to do, especially when you have not yet been initiated and strengthened enough or have enough grit or fortitude to leave that behind. If someone continues to choose the shadow and the darkness and to stay there and to be stuck there, then maybe your light was just a glimmer for them. And because here's the thing, the cosmos, spirit, the universe will always send more light, always. Always. The universe will always speak to you. And those of you who, are kind of stuck in shadow and in darkness, and you're watching this and you're receiving this message, listen, this is also an active message to you. It's a reflection of who you are. The light that I share in this message is a reflection of what is within you already. I'm not saying anything brand new. I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said before. That's silly. That's egoic. I'm not claiming anything. Come listen to my digital message of something that you've never heard before. That's ridiculous, okay? You absolutely heard it many times before. You just haven't heard it in how I'm speaking it. Because I have my own authentic, unique way of saying things, just like you do. Just like, your neighbor, the person to your left and to your right, behind you and in front of you. Like, we all are very much interconnected. And so, again, I hope and may this message find you well and whole. Remember, the 5th of November. No. Remember that, your purpose is not to kidnap them out of their hell, to drag them out of their shadow, to take them where you are heading. That's not your job. You go, like I've been called to be at spaces for a specific amount of time. I've told you guys this. Cycles and seasons, seasons and cycles. I know how long I'll be in an area before anyone else knows. After I get a job or after I move or before I move, before I get a job, I know the land will speak to me. It'll say, you'll be here for 5 years. You'll be here for 2 years. You'll be here for 7 months. You'll be here for less than a year. There's something here that you need to collect. Like I moved back to my home state and now I see why. It took a lot of convincing from spirit to move my little butt back to my home state because I wasn't going to come back. Why? Right? All love to my family and respect to my parents. Why? But there's something here. And now my life is unfolding for me to see, oh, there's more lessons for me, more initiations for me, no matter how painful, and I need to focus on that. So, may this message find you well and whole. Like I said before, remember to evolve your human being, embrace supreme loving guidance, and expand your consciousness. Thank you. Let me know how you feel or what you think. Good night.